You know, this is a man's perfume, right?
I like to smell like my men. Men and women fragrances available upstairs at the Health, Beauty, and Cosmetics Fresh Market.
Hola, soy Enya Dolores de Busai Pharmacy, ubicada en Federation Drive, Hooghly. He estado involucrada en la farmacia durante más de 2 décadas. Ofrecemos una farmacia de servicio completo y una variedad de medicamentos de venta liberada para nuestros pacientes. Entonces, cuando necesites una farmacia de servicio completo, visítanos en Busai Pharmacy Federation Drive, Hooghly. Somos los doctores de elección de su farmacia comunitaria. Ofrecemos servicio con experiencia.
You know, this is a man's perfume, right?
I like to smell like my men. Men and women fragrances available upstairs at the Health, Beauty, and Cosmetics Fresh Market. Hello. What's up? Welcome. It's Wednesday. No, we're not wilding out. It's Wednesday, and we're happy to be back there with you. I'm happy to be back there with you for another episode of exclusive interviews. Make sure you share the live if you just jumping on right now. Share the live. Share the live. Share the live. Share the live, one and all. I want to say welcome to the folks on Facebook, the folks on YouTube, those of you on LinkedIn, as well as Twitter. Welcome, one and all. Thank you very much for joining me again. I have special guests joining me here this evening, and I'm so excited to get to know him with you. We're getting to learn together. I just realized I don't have my AirPods on, so I'm going to put on my AirPods. But I just want to say thank you very much to all those of you who are tuned in. And if you're now coming up live, make sure you tag somebody, tag a friend, let somebody know that this is happening, this is going down. I think this young man that we're going to be talking to is a very special young man because, not just because he's Dominican, but because he recently was named one of the sport ambassadors for Dominican. I don't think you have to name. So it is a special interview. So I mean, all my interviews are special, but it's a special occasion, I should say. I think it might be one of his first special interviews. I don't know. I probably do my own one. Anyways, I just want to say welcome to every single person. If you are just joining us, if this is your very first time on the live, I'm trying to get to my comments. So just give me a second. Give me a second, okay? Give me a second. All right. Just trying to get to my comments because I know I love to interact with those of you on the live, and I just want to encourage you um, that to check out the questions I've pinned. How well do you know Kavem Hodge? We're going to be featuring that during the halfway point of the show. So here's the deal. I mentioned a little while ago that during some of my shows, I will be doing some special things for my top fans, those of you who tune in every single week. So I'll be doing something special for my top fans, my sharers, those of you who are diehard, you always come on here, you share my content, you interact, you engage, you toujours là. And I decided that I when I partnered with Fresh Market with health and beauty and cosmetics, that I would do something special for you guys on my show. And I've started this month. It is my very first show in the month of July, and I want to be able to offer this to you guys. So today, a lucky person, or not necessarily a lucky person, because you have to do some work for it. So you would have had to share the flyer, you would have had to share the live, and then answer as many of the questions. The person who gets the most and they've done all the work, you would automatically win a package from Red One. I don't know if you guys familiar with Red One. Actually, I have my Red One right here. Well, at least the one that I use. So Red One Red is available at Fresh Market HBC. The entire line is available, so they include items for barbers. There's like a full line of wax and all different edge control and all different things for men and women available at top of the line. They also carry fragrances from the Red One line, and a lucky person will win a full package of those. And in my little comment, I remember saying that I feel like doing twice, but instead of doing it twice, will also be giving away 200 to $100 gift vouchers to shop from the Red One line. Yes, so anything from the Red One. So 3 people will win today. So I feel that's a lot more choices, right? There are a lot more opportunities for you to win today on the show. So you gotta answer those questions, and I will be asking Kavem these questions at the halfway mark of the show. And so you would have had to put in your questions before he answers. So any questions that come after the halfway mark, any answers, sorry, that come, I don't know what's wrong with me. Jesus, take the wheel. Any answers that come after the halfway point will not be considered. So you would have had to answer before we get to the halfway point. And when we're getting closer, I'll let you guys know so you can enter your responses. And we want to know how well you know him, because he's just appointed sports ambassador, and you probably say, but who's this center? When we come out, so let's see how well you know him, right? I'm excited to speak with this man. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of it today, I want to say thank you very much to my sponsors. Without them, I won't be here with you because I ain't doing this shit for free no more. So I want to say thank you very much to my sponsors, Bullseye Pharmacy, located on Federation Drive. Big up to Val Coffee and the rest of the team out there at Bullseye Pharmacy. One of the things I absolutely love about Bullseye Pharmacy is that you can get your meds even like at night, right? I remember, as a matter of fact, fun fact, when I found out I was pregnant, yes, the first time, it was from a pregnancy test that I took at 7 p.m. from Bullseye Pharmacy. It's just done on me. Yeah, fun fact. So Bullseye Pharmacy, located on Federation Drive. And also, I want to say thank you very much to Fresh Market Health, Beauty, and Cosmetics. And we will be promoting the Red One on this show today. Thank you very much for them also being sponsors of the show. Are you guys ready? You guys ready to win? Or you guys ready to learn about Kavem? Are you guys ready to have a good time? Have you tagged a friend? Have you invited people? Like, are you there with me, my people? Let me see you. Drop your flag, drop your name. Let me know if you're in the comment section. You all are very quiet this evening. So let me know where you're locked in from. Let me know where you're tuned in from. Let me know if you're hearing me because I feel like I'm talking to myself because my brother, nobody on the chat on the live commenting, right? So just let me know where you're locked in from, and if you know Kavem. Oh, I see the flags coming in. Thank you very much for the flags. Thank you very much. Dominica is locked in. So I'm sure that you guys are hearing me now. So I am going to be bringing on Kavem in just a little bit. So he's going to be sharing with us a little bit about his life, a little bit about his journey, and all of the exciting things that are going on with him. And I want to welcome him on without no further ado. I feel like it's time. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, those flags are coming. Oh, I see you guys. Barbados is locked in. Itasi is locked in. Loda Massive, hey, locked in. Laura, Auntie Laura, thank you, locked in. I see those flags. Clyde John Baptist, thank you. Drop those flags. Drop those flags. Let me know where you're locked in from. I want to be, of course, I love interacting with you guys, and I'm so excited to have this young man on the show. I keep saying young man. I'm making him almost sound like he extremely younger than me. We had this whole conversation today about age. Like I feel like I keep saying young man, like as if I'm an old granny. Like I'm still young, like what the hell? Anywho, we want to welcome for the very first time on this show. Um, and he'll tell you where he's actually situated. But thank you very much to the team for getting Kavem here on the show. My team, I want to big them up one time. I have a team of like 3 people. Like I have a 3-man show, and they really make it happen. So big up my sister Samaj, big up yourself, and also Annika, big up yourself. Thank you guys for always having my back, for always making sure that I look wonderful when I come on here. Even when sometimes I screw up. Thank you. All right, without further ado, let's welcome the sports ambassador. I hope they're giving him a big check every month. It's not just a name. The sports. We'll ask him about that. Eh? I think I should ask him about that. Let me put, let me put that on my face. He's dying. He's laughing. Hi, Kevin. How are you?
Hi, Jael. I'm fine. I'm fine.
I see you taking kicks on me. You were dying in the lobby there. I was killing you.
Yeah, you're trying to get me in trouble. That's what you're trying to do.
Well, they give you a big name like that. You see, I'm an ambassador for Digicel. I'm an ambassador for Fresh Market, and I get paid. So I want to make sure when you see they put big name behind your name, you have to get paid too. You understand, right?
As expected.
Right. As expected. You hear how they say as expected. We'll ask him the question here. Welcome to the show, Kavem. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your busy schedule. I know you have a super, super busy schedule, and we don't want to keep you too long. We also know that you've been training very hard, and I don't want to keep you too long tonight. So we want to make it short, sweet, and to the point, and make sure we get to find out all the information I want to know in a short space of time. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Just a little bit tired from all the training that we've been having, but I'm thankful for the good weather, so it's all good. Yeah.
And where are you currently? Let the people know where you're situated, or where you are right now at this present moment.
Well, I'm in Antigua. That's where we're having the camp in preparation for the upcoming test series. So yeah, that's where we are right now.
All right, fantastic. I wanna take us back. I want you to take us back a little bit. When you before you're where you are today. So
Mhm.
before I even get into that, I just want to say congratulations to you, and also Alec, for your new title as sports ambassadors for Dominica. I guess that comes with a diplomatic passport, right?
It did, yes, it did.
And it also comes with a check, right?
Well, that's what that's what the big man said, but that comes
Well,
later.
make sure you get your check, because some people don't get paid yet, and it's the 5th of the month. So make sure you get as this sports ambassador. I don't play with my money, so don't play with your money. Okay?
Yes, I
Don't play
understand.
with your money. But tell me a little bit about you, Kevin. Where exactly
Mhm.
are you from? In Dominica, did you grow up?
Okay, I grew up in a village called Antrisel. It's very small. Everybody knows everybody. It's actually really close to Atkinson. That's why I went to primary school.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, every time somebody asks me where I'm from, I tell them Antrizo. And even if it's back home in Dominica, they'll be like, "What? Where's Antrizo? Where's
Antrizo,
that?"
where's
That's
Antrizo?
not like exactly.
That's a
So
place?
exactly. So sometimes I would just say Atkinson because the primary school is there. Everything is there, so most people know there. But I'm from Antrizo. It's like 15 minutes from the airport. That's kind of like the best landmark I give most people. So they're like, oh, that's where it's located. So yeah, 15 minutes from the airport. I grew up near the beach, so that's basically where I started playing cricket. When I woke up on mornings, I could, just listen. If there was people on the beach, I would, organize myself, get down to the beach. Most times, spend all the day. Um, if it was mango season, I wouldn't study about food, just eat mango on the beach, play cricket. So I grew up in a very, um, you know, a close knitted environment. Like I said, everybody knows everybody. No violence, just peaceful, calm. It was. I couldn't have asked for a better childhood in terms of the environment that I grew up in, and I think it reflects strongly the person I am today. I still love nature. I love peace. I love calm. I love quiet. I enjoy good company. I love to laugh, talk stupidness.
You
That's
love
just me.
to you love to grin. You don't love to.
I I enjoy good company. You understand? I would take being out with a group of friends, sitting under a tree or in a park any day than going to a fete or something. I mean, I would go to a fete, but occasionally. I mean, everything. I believe in everything in moderation. So I would go to a party or something, enjoy myself, and fine. I'm not the kind of person who lives for the weekend to go party and nah, that's not my style. I like peace and quiet and solace and just easy going.
Why I
So
feel like
yeah.
we're on a date now? We're on a date now. Like you giving me all of this information. Like like I like peace. I like quiet. It's either you on a date or we on a date or you trying to get a date with somebody who's
No,
watching.
no, we're not on a date. You asked me the question.
I'm
I'm
just
just
playing with you. I'm
responding.
just playing with you. I'm just playing with you. You say you like Oshani, so we're going to
Right,
have a good time today, right? Because
right.
at the halfway point of the show, we want people to answer how well do you know Kavem Hodge, right? And we've posted questions already. I've actually pinned the questions, so I want to encourage folks to go and answer. Just copy, paste, answer the question, and hopefully you get to win one of 3 prizes that we're giving away today. So I mean, I have to. We say we're gonna have a little good time when it's not all going to be all serious. Usually this show is very serious, but we decided, we're going to have a little bit more fun. Today, as you can see, I'm wearing a t-shirt, so we wanted to have a little bit more fun. We wanted to be a little bit more laid back. So you grew up in Antrizo. Were you an only
Mm.
child or did you have siblings? Tell me a little bit about
Um,
growing up at home.
no, I wasn't the only child. I have an older sister. So I grew up with my grandmother, my granddad, my mom, my sister. My dad wasn't involved in my life for the first 16 years. So
Oh wow.
yes, yes. So it's
Was
only
it
later
because
that
he wasn't in the country or because he just wasn't part of your life?
both. He was
Okay.
actually living here in Antigua.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, but we met later down in my life. But yeah, so I grew up in a house full of ladies, and then my granddad. So I have other siblings on my dad's side, but as time went by, I got to know them, one by one, two by two,
Mm-hmm.
stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. So yeah, but I have a very close relationship with my family. Like I said, we're very close knit. They I was very very mischievous. Being the
Mm-hmm.
only little boy in the group, I caused a lot of mischief. Got a lot
You
of.
got away with a lot of things too, right?
I did, but I also got a lot of spanking. Boys will be boys. I was used to engage in foolishness. But I think they really helped mold me. In the person I am today. I'm not the aggressive kind of person. I'm very, you
You're more
know,
docile. You're more docile, and you're
yeah.
understanding to the needs of women. Let's just say that.
Well, okay, you could say that, yeah.
Because
That comes to
you
me
know why
because
because I don't really know you, and most people would think that we having this conversation is like we really know each other. But you went to school with one of my sisters, and
right,
one of
yeah,
the first things she said was that he's a very nice guy. He's a very calm, cool, collective kind of a person, right?
right,
And then
yeah,
when we had to meet so we could do the test and all of the, to make sure the connection was okay. And
right.
we were having a conversation about a specific person, and one of the first
Mm-hmm.
things you said, it was like you were like, it's a Cinderella. It was like a Cinderella story, and I was like,
Uh-huh.
"Aw." Like how many guys would like guys don't say that, like that's a that you would have had to. You would have had to be raised with a lot of women to really be, and people might not understand the context. We're not talking about we're
Yeah, yeah,
talking about something, a specific scenario,
yeah,
and you identified the scenario as that, and you were spot on. It wasn't
yeah.
even like you were trying to exaggerate it or anything. And so you, because you were raised with women, it really had an impact on you. And i'm kind of I'm kind of concerned though, because you play cricket, and cricket is like,
Mm,
I mean, there are women who play cricket, because big up to the women, the national women's cricket team of Dominica, big up to them. But you always find, like I mean, you are on the part of like the West Indies team and all of that. I mean, how does somebody, a young man who was not raised with his dad a lot, to end up, who would have coached you along those lines,
mm.
how do you end up on like the playing for West Indies? Like, it's not very many people who can say that they've done this. How
Mm.
does that happen?
Look, it's a long journey, and if I have to like go through every scenario and situation, we'll probably be here all night. Look, I think it's just a love for the sport. It was never, like I told you earlier, it was never a decision where I had to choose between this sport and that sport. Because earlier I said when I woke up and the beach is right there, go play cricket on the beach all day. So that just it just kept you know moving on onto the ranks. From there, that same group of guys, we formed a team. We started to play hardball cricket in another competition. I played for my primary school at the under 13 level. Then I played at the under 15 level on 19. And I just kept moving on to the ranks. And it's just the love for the game that just kept everything going on. So I hope
So
that could answer your
you're telling me the
question.
first thing is passion. You have to have
Yeah,
passion,
yeah,
right?
it's difficult.
So
It's
if we
challenging.
so if we had to do a checklist, young men are looking at you right now. Young men in Dominica or
Yeah.
across the Caribbean are looking at you right now, and they're saying, "Bah, I wish I could get to play for the West Indies." If you had
Mm.
to do a checklist of the three top things, what would be on your checklist? What would be the top three things that you feel like you could tell a young man, "Hey, you need to do these three things before you can make it"?
Um. Okay. The
You
first
said
thing on my list.
passion. You said passion. So we can
Okay.
put passion.
Right. Okay. Passion is one, but would you consider passion and love for the game in the same category?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you can be
Okay. So
passionate but not necessarily love the game.
right.
Right? You could be a passionate person.
Okay. Well. Okay. Well. Yeah. Early up at an early age, that is one of the main pillars. You have to love the game. There's gonna be a lot of situations that would make you feel like, why am I doing this? Why am I part of this? Why am I engaging in this? But it's a love
Mm-hmm.
for the game that would, always carry you through. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Another one is being disciplined. Obviously, when you're young, you don't really understand that word. You're just enjoying yourself. You're just having fun. But as you get older and more mature, you understand, these are things that you have to do that will align with what you want to become. And that's where the discipline comes in. It's okay to be motivated. When you're younger, motivation is the main thing. You have to be motivated. But there are many times, when you're not motivated, you don't feel motivated to do it. But
Like me and
the,
losing weight. I'm not motivated.
Right. So when sometimes the motivation is lacking, that's where the discipline comes in. You're
Mm-hmm.
mature enough, you have to do these things, you have to take care of that if you want to get to there. So I would say that discipline is one of the major things. I think that's like the bridge for talent and success. That's a very important bridge for that. So yeah.
Wow, that's great. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. I know you had
Yeah.
to reach, you had to pull it. You couldn't just pull it. Wasn't in the bag sitting there. But
No.
thank you, because I think a lot of young men and women,
Mm.
they're probably looking at you and like, wow, like this young man, you're how old are you now? You're 30, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Right. You're only 30, and you are, you're doing big things for yourself. So kudos to you, and thank you very much for sharing that with us. Do you play
Yeah.
any other sports besides cricket, or is it just cricket?
No, it's just cricket. I mean, I engage in a little. I like volleyball. Um,
Mm.
I love to watch. I love to watch tennis. Um,
Me too. Me
I
too.
right.
I will not play. Not. I will not play. No. No. That's
Yeah.
probably the only sport I watch.
All right. Fair enough. But I do enjoy watching tennis. It's very competitive.
Mhm.
Like some of the athletes, I follow them personally on Instagram, and it's very interesting to see how they prepare and stuff like that. But I love to watch tennis. Yeah.
Wow. That's good to know. And I am when you were, because okay, so you went through to school. You mentioned you were going to Atkinson Primary.
Yes.
Then you went on to high school. Where did you go to high
Yeah.
school? Then
All
college,
right.
and then
So I went to St. Andrews High School. That's down London there. Yeah, St. Andrews High School. So I actually applied to Cassibro Secondary, but I didn't get through to that school. So one of my best friends in primary school, the both of us, we wanted to go to Cassibro Secondary, um, but I was away, so it was a bit difficult. So we made a phone call to the school on that day. I think it was like the final day to get students in. So I called, we called and asked, if there's any more space. Because, back then, that was the term, if you have space.
you have to have space. Yes.
Yes, if they had space. And it was like, no, there's no more space. But the same day, one of my best friends, he went personally, he actually went to the school and he got through, there was space for him. So he
So he
attended that
registered
school.
you too.
No, he didn't register me. How he could register me? He's
But
living
I,
under
but I
his
don't know.
parents. He living under his parents' homes. How you go register me? Right. So he went to that school and then I went to St. Andrews High. But I am really happy it happened that way because, St. Andrews High it's known for its sporting background. It's very competitive. So
Mhm.
when I entered in that environment, I had no choice but to, come out of my shell and, bloom and, just try and compete with everybody else as well, to get onto the team. There were certain times, you couldn't get onto the team because, it had such good players. And I
Mhm.
think that, from there, it really molded me and, you know, got me into the competitive environment that I needed to, push my skills and my talents forward. So I'm grateful that it happened the way it did
Were
because we
there
used to
were there
beat
in
this.
during that time? Were there anybody that would mentor you, or was it just like it was just like
I mean, we
everybody
had
all man jack for themselves?
we had our coach, so that was basically our mentor. He used to, well, he used to always be mad at me because I used to run out everybody because I was very short. I mean, I'm 5'7", but back then I was really, really short and the pads was high, like reaching like by my thighs. And I used to run out everybody and he used to be mad at me, like really mad. Um, but yeah, and then when I reached third form, they they closed down St. Andrews High School and they had a new school that opened like just like on the next side of the road. It's called Northeast Comprehensive.
Mhm.
It's a lovely school. So they merged St. Andrews High School and Marigot Secondary into one school. So now it's even more competitive because there's more
Wow.
cricketers and so it was just a breeding ground for excellence and sports and it was a haven for people who love sports. So I'm happy that the way everything played out because we always used to beat Castlebar Secondary in sports. So I was like, that is the school I wanted to go to. No, I gladly will go.
I'm because while you're on the topic of the fact that you were able to to find, a space that would kind of help you flourish in your, for if you move merging your love for cricket, your being disciplined and all of that good stuff you spoke
Hmm.
about earlier on.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a question, and you might need to think about it for a second. But being as you've done all of this, from the time you started on the beach to high school, college, and then on to university, when you look at the country Dominica, would you say, or would you actually say that it is a breeding ground, or it provides an infrastructure in terms of its way in design to produce sportsmen like you? Would you say that we have that in Dominica, or we're lacking that?
I think there's always room for improvement in terms of the infrastructure. That's one area that I kind of struggled a bit growing up. There wasn't always infrastructure. There would be many times I would, I would be in the stadium, doing my little training, and I would just be sitting on the step and wondering, if I'm doing enough, if I'm even doing the right things. So, um, but in terms of the support, I think the support was the biggest thing for me. There I had a lot of support, from club members, well wishers and everybody. Because the Dominica has what, 80,000 people. Everybody knows
uh
everybody.
80 or that?
All right,
I beg to
75.
differ.
Right. So it's small. Everybody knows everybody, and the support from the people was there. You had well wishers, Kavem, keep doing your thing, hold for my brother, all kind of thing, you know.
Mhm.
But obviously, there's always room for improvement for infrastructure, and I think they're trying
What
now
would
in
you?
terms of.
I want to ask you that though. What would you recommend? Because based on what you felt that you could have,
Hmm.
because now you're in like serious training. Like, I mean, you
Hmm.
know what training is like. I mean,
Yeah.
we haven't even gotten to high school and university, because you went to university in
Yeah.
Barbados. So
Yeah.
we will get to that in a little bit. But what would you recommend in terms of what you feel is needed or necessary,
Hmm.
so that people like you cannot sit in the on the bench and wonder, but I do enough push-ups,
Hmm.
I so how many laps I run enough, or I'm eating
Hmm.
properly, or the proper feels. Like, what would you recommend? If just put yourself out of it now and look back and
Yeah.
say, if I had to do this, this is what I would have done.
Um. Look, I think it would have to start from the primary schools and high schools, because I mean, as much as we had coaches, these are just like our PE teachers who was just helping out, and they would try and put a team together and take us and play cricket, but there wasn't a lot of coaching. I mean, we had guys like Thomas Kentish and um, actually Claudia Sanford was one of the first coaches I had that came to the Atkinson Primary, and did some stuff with us for under 13 and stuff like that. So you had guys at my age, younger age, coming around and helping out. But as you progress, it lacked a little bit of that. So I think more guidance from that age group going along, just to keep everybody on track, because there's a big gap, from like under 15, under 19 and moving on. There's a big gap.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Another thing would be, facilities like, nets to train. Unless you haven't been selected for, let's say, the senior team, you probably wouldn't have access to proper nets or something like that. So, just the ability to bat in the nets where you wouldn't have to go in the bush to look for ball or something like that. Just they've had many days of that.
Mm-hmm.
When you hit the ball playing in backyard or whatever, you go in the bush and look for the ball. But just access to these simple little things would make a big difference. I mean, I know back in the day, everybody liked their street cricket, and that's the culture of West Indies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's where it all started. But
Mm-hmm.
as you move along, you need some kind of facility to make you feel like, hey, I'm doing something here. And so I think that would be a major step. I know we have nets in the stadium. There's a new indoor facility in Portsmouth. I think we're probably one of the only countries in the Windward Islands to have indoor facility outside of UAE or something like that. So we, like I said, we're making strides. So I'm happy with that. So it's just a matter of just increasing on that.
Thank you for sharing that with us, Kevin.
Yeah.
So you left high school and then you
Hmm.
went to college, right?
Yes. I
So,
went
so tell me a
to
little bit about college.
college was interesting. It was a roller coaster because I now started to really play competitive cricket. At that time, I was the second youngest to play senior cricket for Dominica at the age 15, and then so when I entered into college after that, I was really into cricket, and I was traveling a lot. So it was a struggle for me to balance cricket and school at the same time because there was nothing in place for that. And at that time, I was staying in town, so I lived. So like I mentioned earlier, I lived with my grandparents, my mom. So my mom moved to England. She moved to England. She married, moved to England. Um, my grandmother and my granddad, they have children in the US, so they moved to the US. So it was me and my sister.
Wow.
Yes, yes. So it was, we look after each other and stuff. And then, so my sister, yeah, she was. I hope she listened to this live. She traveled to Antigua. Yeah, she traveled to Antigua. So out of that household, when I was still in high school, that was before I got college. Out of that household, it was just me. So I had to stay with my neighbor, my uncle. Um,
Wow.
yeah, I moved around a lot. And so when I played for Dominica at the under 19 level, our coach at the time, we had there's a club Dominica called the Cavaliers Cricket Club. So he saw me play for Dominica at the under 19. Like when you go back home, I'm gonna join you into the club because I was still living in the country, so and all the
Mhm.
club and everything is in town. So like I'm gonna
Yes. And you would not really know about it unless somebody really said, hey,
exactly,
right.
So when I joined that club, you know, it exposed me to people that, really guided me and mold me in the direction that a young man's supposed to go. People like Tom Lafont, Gifford Walsh, Jeff Pierre, all these people. I lived with them at some point in my college years. All of
Wow.
them took me in at some point. I lived with them, lived with their families. And I think all of that helped, to mold me into the individual I am today because Tom Lafont, he was the manager for Tropical Shippings in Dominica. His wife, Jennifer Lafont, was the permanent secretary for education.
Mhm.
So, I was in a straight and
So that make
narrow.
sure you kept, you were like, there was
Yeah,
no,
exactly. I listen. I I
you had to
couldn't
be
drift.
focused. You
Yeah,
couldn't
yeah, I
drift.
had to.
No
Yeah,
drifting.
exactly. And there was this one situation, and also Gifford Walsh. He worked in the forestry division, so he was the finance. He was the person dealing with all the finance, and he was living in Stock Farm. So when I have classes and half day, I would go by him for lunch, and then his wife, his daughter, everybody there, and he would drop me back to school and everything. And but there was this one situation when I was living with Tom Lafont and his wife. When I just started college, so the second day of college, everybody's been introduced, whatever the case is. And there was this lecturer. I didn't know the lady. She didn't know me, but probably she knew of me. So everybody's going around the room introducing themselves. So I introduced myself. Mind you, I do not know anybody in this classroom. I'm fresh, new. I don't know anybody. So
Mhm.
I say my name, whatever, what my degree is. And she's like, "Oh, you use Kavem Hodge." And then she said, um, "If you think that you can pursue a degree and play cricket at the same time, then you're a fool." Yep, that's what she told me. I I do not know the lady. I never came in contact with the lady before.
Why do you think why do you think she felt that that was a
I don't
thing?
know. I don't know. She just and she was just like miserable and bitter. I don't know why. No, for real. I mean,
But you,
I'm good if,
did you prove her wrong?
of course, I'm a UA graduate. I mean, I'm playing the sport I love. Jeez, I wish I would meet her today. I'd give her a big hug and say thank you for telling me that. You understand? So when she told me that, I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to feel because I don't know anybody in the class. Because mind you, the class had like 20 something students. I
Wow.
never met this lady before. The lady tell me if I think I can pursue a degree and play cricket at the same time, then you're a fool. Like straight. That's exactly what she told
So
me.
besides you not knowing how to react, how did you feel in that moment? Like, did
No,
that motivate you, or did you say I'm gonna prove you wrong, or like
Um,
what did your brain tell you in that moment?
I was just stunned. Like I didn't know how. I was just stunned. Like there was no kind of retaliation, and I wasn't the person
To answer back?
to answer back. No, that's
You
not
no,
me.
that's Jael.
I
That's
I
Jael.
just yeah I just I just sat there. I just didn't say anything. I just sat there, you know.
Wow.
And then when I went home, that's back to Tom and his wife place. I told her, what the lady told me. And mind you, she was the PL permanent secretary for education at that time, and she
Mhm.
was adamant that I tell her who told me that, who told, and she was at me, who told you that, and I didn't tell her. I didn't tell her. I couldn't
You
tell her.
never told her.
I
So
didn't
you,
tell
so
her.
you, so you literally prevented that woman from getting fired.
Yeah, she would have. No, she would have gotten fired. She
She would
really
have
would
lost
have
her job,
gotten.
because I mean, essentially, this is not something encouraging. This is not something you tell any student,
Yeah,
period. Much as
yeah.
a student who is obviously on the incline.
Hmm.
We don't necessarily, we're not in the Caribbean, we don't not necessarily have, in general, we don't have the know-how in terms of training, when it comes to training and school. You find people who are successful at people are successful at either or. You find
Hmm.
rarely that they're successful at both, right?
Yeah,
Because they'll say, oh, that one kind of learns, so he like to play sports, we'll push him more to play sports, or
right.
he like music, we'll push him more, or that one looking like he's smart, we'll push him to that direction. So it's
Yeah,
not, we don't really have the system's not really structured in a way that it
yeah,
assists students with both and managing both. And
yeah,
in North America, you see that happening all the time, where
yeah.
they have children's sports school. I know I have a very good friend whose kids actually go to sports school. Like they
Hmm.
they they go to school how many days in a week, not a full week. They do some online, and they
Hmm.
train, like their focus is training to master their
Hmm.
game,
Yeah,
whatever they
yeah,
play. And it's sad that that a teacher could say something like that, and you bringing it up, obviously it had an impact on you.
yeah.
And at the back of your head, you're sitting there and you're saying, chew my mouth, sorry I say it, I did it. I did it. I did it. I was able to do both of them. So
Yeah.
you leave college with your associate's degree, and then no, you did not. Oh, so tell us
No, I
about
didn't.
that. What happened? I'm so glad it's true. Tell me what happened.
No, so like I said, during college it was a struggle. Even before I left, before I came to town to stay. So all of the education that I've received, it's through sports. Like I got some kind of scholarship through sports. So I was able to attend, college from a scholarship from the sports division because I was doing so well at cricket. I mean, if that wasn't the case, Lord knows I would, because at the time, my family couldn't afford to send me to college.
Mhm.
And obviously there was at some point I was living on my own in Dominica. I was, living in different families and stuff. I remember there was this one time I so I just come from a tour, and I wasn't living in town yet. I was still living in the country. So I came back, and it had exams like probably the next day. So I come back to college, gone in the classroom, sitting waiting to do my exam, sitting with everybody in the class, sitting. Then one of the lecturers they come to the class. It's like, Mr. Hodge. I was like, yeah. It's like, could you come with us, please? So apparently there was a fee that had to be paid before you do every exam or before you start the exam. I think like $300 or $400 fee. Mind you, can't remember nothing about that. So I just come from playing cricket. I come straight college next day, ready to do exam. They take me to the secretary office, and she explains to like, well, there's a fee that has to be paid for you to do exams, and if you can't do the exams, you can't. If you can't pay the fee, you can't do any of your exams or whatever it is. I'm just sitting here in front of the lady. I don't have a black cent in my pocket calling me master. And I don't know what to do because I have the exams. I don't have money to pay it, and I'm just there like, and I don't know what come over the lady. I don't know if she probably knew of the fact that I play in cricket, and she does look at me, and obviously there's some kind of receipt that you have to bring back to the classroom for the invigilator to allow you to do the exam. So she just look at me and she was like, you know what, just all the best in the exam. So she stamped the receipt, she give it to me, and then I went back in the classroom to do my exam, and she allowed me to do it without paying any money. So, I mean, as much as there was so many, one of the lecturers telling me, I'm a fool, whatever, I still think that by is the grace of God that allowed me to go through certain things and meet certain people, and hey,
So you
yeah,
didn't complete state college. What happened
right.
to cause
So
you not to
right,
complete?
it became very difficult to be traveling and keeping up with schoolwork. Um, so what happened was, so what was put in place is that the same cricket association, they seek the guidance of um, one of the board members of the Winwood Island. I think it was Emmanuel Nanton at the time, and they spoke to the university. So what normally happens with sports scholarships at the university, which was what I got, the coach would normally go around to the different territories like Jamaica, Trinidad, Guyana, whatever. He would go and scout, and if he saw a good player that he was interested in, like, all right, I'm gonna bring back this player to UE, and we're gonna give them a scholarship, let them pursue their education, and they would play cricket. But my case was different. He didn't come to Dominica. So basically, the Guyana Association, told him about me. We have this cricketer, this and that, and you all have a program that is catered towards individuals. So basically, the coach, that's Floyd
So
Ricker,
people
he basically,
advocated on your behalf.
yeah, well, yeah, he did. So this is the ball was in the coach's court at this time. So he decided, all right, I'm going to bring in this player, because I don't think he saw me at the time yet, play cricket, and he brought me in, and the rest was history. To play
Wow. And
cricket
you
for
did and
you,
you did not fail.
no,
You went straight through.
all the way through. I mean, obviously, it had the challenging times because at that point, I started playing first class cricket. So to do a degree and play cricket at the same time, it's very difficult. So there'll be times where, you would spend all day on the field, running up and down, chasing balls, and then you come back to your hotel room and you see your roommate lay down on his bed, probably talking on his phone or sleeping or whatever, but you have to sit down by the table and, do your assignments, do your research, just make sure that that's where the discipline part comes in. It was tough, but and it took me a little longer than a regular student, because a normal student could just go into school, they would do 5 and 6 courses a semester and they would be done in no time. But I couldn't do 5 and 6 courses a semester, so thankfully I had some really good advisors, that, point me in the right direction, and they advised me, hey, do what you can manage, do 3, 4 courses a semester. I did summer courses as well, so, 1 month full the basket, and then, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
So what did you study at UE?
I did kinesiology. So that's a fancy word for sports science.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you so you could explain to others. And thanks
Yeah.
for sharing that with us. I see people have been on the live and they responding to the 10 things. So folks have been responding to the 10 things, about Kavem Hodge. This is where we take the halfway break. So we're gonna take a short break. I want to encourage you guys to lock in your answers now, because when we come back after we take the commercial break, we're gonna be asking him the questions. I also want to get to know a little bit about playing with West Indies. I mean, those who follow cricket, West Indies not too strong them days. So we want to talk a little bit about that and what role Kavem intends to play in among with the other team members, in terms of where is he gonna take West Indies? Where can he take West Indies? Is he gonna Is it gonna make a difference? Because right now they kind of looking mediocre. So we're gonna come back. We're gonna talk some more to Kavem. We're gonna take a short break. Lock in your answers right now because three lucky people. So the top three who first you must have shared. You have to share the live. So if you didn't share the live, you're already disqualified. If you didn't share the flyer, you're already disqualified. And make sure you answer the 10 questions. So share the live now, or you could share it later. You could share the flyer later. You could do it now or later, but make sure you do it before the show ends so that when we review, we're able to capture the top three. One person's going to walk away with a package filled with stuff from Red One and Redis. One person's gonna walk, and two other people are gonna walk away with $100 gift voucher each to shop at Fresh Market Health, Beauty, and Cosmetics. That's upstairs for any amount, any Red One product. So you could take any, saying Red One sounding like it's one thing, but yeah, any amount of Red One products you can actually shop at Fresh Market for with your $100 voucher. I mean, that is like edge control galore. Imagine, look at, I had to lay my edges before the show starts. So we're gonna take a short break. We're gonna come back and we're gonna be talking with Kavem some more. So stay tuned. We're coming right back.
You know this is a man's perfume, right?
I like to smell like my men. Men and women fragrances available upstairs at the Health, Beauty, and Cosmetics Fresh Market.
Hola, soy Enya Dolores de Busai Pharmacy, ubicada en Federation Drive, Brooklyn. He estado involucrada en la farmacia durante más de 2 décadas. Ofrecemos una farmacia de servicio completo y una variedad de medicamentos de venta liberada para nuestros pacientes. Entonces, cuando necesites una farmacia de servicio completo, visítanos en Busai Pharmacy Federation Drive, Brooklyn. Somos los doctores de elección de su farmacia comunitaria. Ofrecemos servicio con experiencia.
I want to say thank you so very much to Bullseye Pharmacy for being a sponsor of this program, located on Federation Drive in Roseau. Thank you very much to Val and the rest of the team. And I also want to say thank you very, very much to Fresh Market Health, Beauty, and Cosmetics for also coming on board and sponsoring this event. So thank you very much. And thanks to Kavem and the rest of you. Speaking of the rest of you, those of you who have joined, I want to go to the chat so we can see what some of the folks are talking about, are saying. Somebody's saying Linky is saying Mr. Next Sport is eating mango. So I guess when I asked you about your sport, he said the next sport is the you like mango?
Sorry, with my bottle. Like is an understatement.
You like mango more than me? We would fight. You know I do mango videos. I do mango videos. I'm obsessed.
I don't know if you like mango more than me. A lot of people on the live could probably attest to that. But I have the relationship I have with mango is on a different level. So
you ever get worms from eating mango?
Nah.
Okay, so that's me. I've gotten worms. I've gotten drunk because I eat so much mango, man, it make me sue. Yes.
So how it started, because growing up, I had 5 grafted mango trees in my yard, 5 of them, and and a mango long and another one. So for all the people that wonder, every time I post mango, people say you have a problem. That that's how it started. I had 5 grafted mango trees in my yard. So
But
I would just try.
until you have to take worm medicine because you eat too much mango and you eat mango with worms.
No, listen, I haven't gotten that till this day. I don't think I'll ever get it. Nah. I'm immune to that. I'm immune to that.
All right, some other folks on there are saying, so Gina Abraham is saying that was God, young man. She was just commenting you on when you spoke about the person who told you that you would not be able to succeed. And she also added that I can't get past an educator calling you a fool, shameful. So she's expressing that she wasn't happy to hear that. I also want to shout out Ian is also on the live. He's saying Jean Bois, so he's bigging you up. Jean Bois to the world.
That's right.
and a lot of other folks are on, are just coming on and saying that they're agreeing to the fact that you love mango. This is the point of the show where I see a few of you have actually gone and taken the test. How well do you know Kavem Hodge? And we're gonna run through it because we don't want him to think about it too much. So we're gonna run through the questions. We're gonna want to run through the questions quickly. How well do you know Kavem Hodge? Kavem, what's your favorite color?
Blue.
Jeans or dress bands?
Jeans.
Who would you say had the biggest influence on you?
My mom.
What type of music are you into?
Afrobeat.
What was the latest or the last TV show that you binge watched?
The last TV show I binge watch. I don't really binge watch that much,
You can say none,
well, okay. It's a horror movie. I think Insidious.
Mm.
I'm not really a serious person, so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is your favorite Dominican holiday?
Easter.
Why Easter?
I don't know. You get to go on the beach and you get all them nice accessories.
It's interesting that you didn't say carnival or you didn't say Curl Festival. You said Easter, so that's interesting.
Okay, that's probably second. That's probably second.
What's
then.
Food?
I like Sancoch, provision, dumpling, fried plantain.
How do you take your coffee? Black or with milk?
I don't like coffee.
Ooh.
Iced coffee. I'm an iced coffee person.
But you like iced coffee, so you
Iced
take
coffee,
it with milk. So you take it cold with milk.
Yeah, and sweet. I like it sweet. If it's not sweet, it don't make no sense.
Which meal is your favorite meal, or which meal is your favorite? Which meal is your favorite? Breakfast, lunch, or dinner?
I go for lunch.
What job would you never do?
Cooking a mug.
How you think of that? How you think of that?
I don't know who wants to deal with that, but I mean, there are people who do it. I have the utmost respect for people who do that. That is a different level to cut up dead bodies and then go home normal.
And eat food.
Well, I would be able to eat the food regardless. That wouldn't stop me from eating food. Somebody could be vomiting and I'll eat my food. But just dealing with dead people. Yeah.
Thank you very much for participating in this, and I hope, like, I see a few folks are excited about their responses. We're gonna be going through.
So how does that work? They have to get all the answers correct? Or?
The person with the most will win the big package. Then the next person would win the $100, and then the next person will win $100. So the top 3.
Whoever wins, just hit me up. We go split the prize or whatever.
You more want the stuff than them. Use 130 crates. Don't worry, I'm gonna get Fresh Market to organize you. Okay, how about that? So when you go down to Dominica, which I understand that you're gonna be going down to Dominica soon, you're gonna get, and you have to, but for me, you have to, when you get your stuff, you have to, when you shop and you have your stuff in your hand, you have to take a picture and you have to send it to me. Okay?
No problem. No
Good.
problem.
That sounds like a deal. So we're gonna continue talking to Kavem. I want to kind of talk. I want to get into the conversation about him and the West Indies, and being with the team and what it's been like. So I want to get into that information. We want to get the deets on that. So
Mm.
how did you end up playing for West Indies? Was it like like somebody might say, oh, he transitioned from UE straight to play with West Indies? How did that happen? How did that come about?
Um, no, it's a long journey. Anybody who's known me know that I've been playing cricket for a long time, and obviously playing for the West Indies has always been a dream of mine. But there's been a lot of ups and downs. Injuries along the way. But I think the most important thing for me was, like I said earlier, is the love for the game that has kept me, going. Even at the down times. Um, so because one of the things that I try and live by is, when you're down, don't get too down. When you're up, don't get too high. So just try and
Mhm.
maintain moderation. Um, but I think my breakthrough really came in a couple years ago when I had a decent first class season and a decent Super 50 season as well. I got MVP of the tournament and stuff like that, and and then I first got selected when there was COVID, and a lot of the guys pulled out. So I got the opportunity to be part of the squad. I didn't play any games, but just the opportunity to be in the environment, to see what it's like to train with everybody, and just to be a part of the squad. It really opened your eyes. It's because it's one thing to sit in front of your TV on your couch and watch it, but to be a part of the team, the trainings, the preparations, the meetings, the treatment that the players get at the international level. It's really amazing to experience it. And then I got the second opportunity when they had part of the World Cup qualifiers in Dubai when we had to play against the UAE, and that's where I made my debut in the one day segment of it. So I really enjoyed it. I just made a big effort to take in every single moment. When I was stepping on the field, when I was in the hotel, coming off the bus, whatever the case is, I was just taking it all in. I had a big smile on my face and just enjoying the moment. Not think too far ahead or not to think too far behind. I mean, yes, of course, you reflect on the journey that you had getting to this point, but then you still have to get back to this point and just enjoy the moment as it is. So, and then yeah, training with the test squad, vying for a position in test team soon. But regardless of what happens, I'm just grateful for the opportunity to be in this setup and for opportunity to
Was you hear me okay? Yeah, but I'm not hearing you because you got disconnected. I'm not hearing you. So for some strange reason, I can't hear you. So it's okay. Don't, don't be sad. Just jump off and come back on. So just let me know if you could still hear. And Kavem is just going to drop off and come back on. All right. So just let me know if you guys are still hearing me on the live. We're continuing this conversation. Um, so he's gonna drop off and then come back on. We want to find out all of the, internet always, in some internet shipping is always has to happen, right? Hearing you. Okay, get it. Thank you very much, Aurel, for that. Thank you. So Kavem, just drop off. So exit and just click on the link again and come back on. So we can continue. I think are you back? I think he's trying to see if it's his internet connection that's having a bit of issues. So we can continue with the interview. Interview is sponsored by, of course, Fresh Market and Bullseye Pharmacy. Three lucky folks just walked away. They just won themselves some prizes from Fresh Market, compliments Red One and Reddest. And we're going to be they're going to be getting their items pretty soon. So I'm excited that you guys participated. Thank you very much for sharing with us. And we're gonna continue in just a little bit. We're gonna take a very, very short break, and we're gonna come back with more. Kavem, you dropped off and you're coming back on. So let's you wanna try this again? You wanna try this again, or are we dropping off and coming back on? Let's try this again. And we were just gonna wait in just a second. We're coming back right after this.
You know this is a man's perfume, right?
I like to smell like my men. Men and women fragrances available upstairs at the Health, Beauty, and Cosmetics Fresh Market.
Hola, soy Enya Dolores de Busai Pharmacy, ubicada en Federation Drive, Brooklyn. He estado involucrada en la farmacia durante más de 2 décadas. Ofrecemos una farmacia de servicio completo y una variedad de medicamentos de venta liberada para nuestros pacientes. Entonces, cuando necesites una farmacia de servicio completo, visítanos en Busai Pharmacy Federation Drive, Brooklyn. Somos los doctores de elección de su farmacia comunitaria. Ofrecemos servicio con experiencia.
You know this is a man's perfume, right?
I like to smell like my men. Men and women fragrances available upstairs at the Health, Beauty, and Cosmetics Fresh Market. Okay, guys, I just wanted you to know that we're still waiting to connect back with Kavem, who seems to be having some internet issues. So hopefully we can get him back here on the show. Trying to get back in touch with him and trying to get connected back. So we may resort to doing it on his phone. So we're just trying to and figure out what we're gonna do next. So just stay tuned. We're right here. I also want to at this time hit up the chat to see what some of the folks have been saying and to kind of get a sense of who won, or who came closest to answering the questions that we had we'd asked earlier on. So Kyle, who I believe was one of the first persons to respond, Kyle said his favorite color was green. He was a jeans guy. His favorite person was Tom Lafont. He loves slower R&B. Walking Dead, Independence is his favorite show or movie. Mango with Milk, Lunch, Chopping Down Trees, specifically mango trees. So that's what Kyle is saying. So we're obviously going to check and make sure that everybody who responded came the closest to would be the obvious first winner, and then after that, then we also have I think the person's name is Radigra Bab, who said blue is his favorite color. Jeans. Yes, Kavem, you can go ahead and use the same link. Just use the same link and hop back on. So let me just Let me just let him know he could come back, hop back on. He's trying to get back on. So Rodriguez said Darren Sammy, Afrobeat slash soca, Independence Day, curry chicken and rice. He doesn't really drink coffee, but if he does, it would be with milk. Lunch and a construction worker is what you folks. Jeans, Darren Sammy, Afrobeats, The Night Agent, Independence, Curry Chicken. Well, some of the questions are some of the response. Yes, I can hear you, but it's you're sounding far. You're sounding far. Can you hear me again? The listeners, those of you are on the live, if it's okay for you, we'll keep it going. So again, we apologize. This happens sometimes, internet issues, whatever. I custom. How he got to play playing with the West Indies. So he explained all of that, and I wanted us to kind of jump in, especially along the. I want to actually speak along the lines of the performance of the West Indies is not that great of late. And I kind of want to know what about you being on this team, or what about Kavem makes can make West Indies win the next couple of test matches. That I mean, it's almost like I could be the one asking you that. I'm helping out your coach and them determine you should make it through after this training session. Especially, I know you guys are going to be playing England in Dominica next week. It is. So what why should they choose you, or what makes you that type of person that could take West Indies to where it needs to go?
Auditioning. That's what you're telling me. Can you hear me clear?
Not clear, but if you speak up, I might hear you. Just speak up a little bit.
Um, Testing one two one two one two. Can you hear me? Right. Okay. Look, it would be difficult for me to just say off the bat, why you should select me, and why I would be the best person for the job. Look, I think I'm a team person. I enjoy being in a team environment. Um, Obviously, that speaks for itself that I love cricket. Um, And many times, the coaches would say, if you don't want to be in a team environment, go play, you know, golf or tennis or whatever the case is. So I think it's just the passion and the love that I have for West Indies cricket. Me and everybody else, and we want to see it move forward, in the right direction. And obviously, that's why we're here. That's why we're telling you, that's why we're training and all that stuff. And with that being said, it doesn't guarantee the fact that you will perform, or you will be the best. But you're
Hmm.
just doing the right things.
Hmm.
And that's something that I always live by. Doing the right things, doing the simple things, having respect for the game, having love for the game. Um, that's not gonna guarantee you're gonna make any team or every team. But you just have to do what you can, control what you can, and control the controllables, and just leave everything else up to the universe. So that's all I can say. I cannot convince you why you should do this or why you should not do that, or pick me or not pick me. It's just plain and simple. Do my part. Control the controllables, and leave the rest up to it's
Do your best, and God will do the rest.
that's right. That's right.
I'm interested to also get an understanding as to what is the I know we all islanders, and even I know you went to UE, and you would have probably met a lot of Caribbean people, a lot of different people from the different islands, and you interacted with them. And there's always a level of camaraderie amongst the islands. I mean, when it comes to certain things, who want to think the island is best, you'll always have those. But to some extent, there's always, a sense of unity. What is it like, since you've been on the West Indies team with the other players? What has the life been like, the lifestyle amongst the two, the camaraderie amongst your teammates? What is that like?
It's been great. Everybody is so welcoming, and you're not joining a team of strangers. At some point in my career, I would have played with or against a lot of these guys. It's just that we're playing together on the international scene. So it's very welcoming. Behind the scenes, it's just an amazing group to be a part of. Like I said, the preparation, the time we spend together. Because it's always one thing, like I said, to sit and wonder what it might be like. But when you enter, that environment, it's not that different, from a lot of the other environments. It's just that it's on a higher level. Certain things are expected of you. You're treated a certain way. You're given a certain level of respect, and you're expected to give that respect back. Whether it is how you prepare, how you play, how you perform, how you recover, taking care of yourself. A lot of things are expected of you, and
Hmm.
you have to be mature and man enough to do those things that are required of you. I mean, it's the international level. That's like the NBA of basketball. That's the
Hmm.
highest that it gets. So it's an amazing environment to be in. I really wish that a lot of all who aspire to be part of that environment would get a chance to do so. I mean, but the reality is not everybody will, and that's one of the reasons why I'm so grateful for being in that environment. Because there's many times I ask myself, if I will ever get the opportunity, um,
Hmm.
and know that I'm part of this setup, I still pinch myself, but I still have to say, you're here now, but you still have a lot more stuff to do in terms of maintaining your position, putting on good performances, staying in shape, having a good space mentally, because that's very important. Because
Hmm.
the higher you go, everybody's on the same skill level. But
Hmm.
eventually that's where the big boys set up by themselves. So yeah, it's really amazing. And, I'm really grateful to be a part of it.
Of your teammates, who would you say you look up to the most?
To look up to, obviously, there are individuals on the team who have been excellent for many years. They are some of the best in the world. So obviously, you would look at them and try and emulate what they are doing. It has to be something good that you are doing to be where you are.
Hmm.
Obviously, in terms of performance wise and personality, Shay is one of those individuals. I've known Shay even before he played for Barbados. Well, like we spent time together in terms of playing cricket against each other and, just having normal conversations. And to see where he is now, obviously, you're gravitating towards him and his personality. And a lot of people who are not in the environment would just say, that person on Instagram. But to actually be around that individual personally, see how they live, how they go about doing things. Just the professionalism, their mindset. They're so locked in, they're so focused, and you
Hmm.
can't help but to say, oh, you can understand why that person is, excelling so much. So that's one of the individuals that has excelled, and obviously, you gravitate towards that person and how they do things.
And plus, the person's Dominican.
It's Bejan.
Oh, he's Bajan. He's Bajan. Oh, Baj. Sorry. I thought you said somebody else. I don't know, because you're going in and out a little bit. The audio is still not 100%. Folks are actually asking or finding out what's going on with your audio. Um,
I
for the
use the
most,
AirPods, so
would
try
you
again.
be you gonna try removing them? Try removing them. I can hear you. Can you hear me without them? Can you hear me? Or you? I can't hear you. I can't hear you at all. No. I can read your lips, but I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me without the AirPods? Would you be able to speak without, like, is your device allowing you to speak and hear me without the AirPods whatsoever? Or you need them? You need them, right? I'm not hearing you. I'm not hearing you at all. I'm not hearing you. I can read your lips, but I'm not hearing you at all. I'm not hearing you at all. No, I'm not hearing you. Put the AirPods away. Probably it needs to disconnect. Is it still if it's still connected, it might need to disconnect in order for it to work. I know you're hearing me, but I'm not hearing you. I know you can hear me, but I cannot hear you. You're probably gonna have to go back with the old ones, because I could hear you. It just takes a little bit more effort for it to happen. And I know I think you're on an iPad, so that might be also, or unless you want to jump on your phone, that can also work. If you tell me what you want to do. I know the audio is an issue right now, and we're getting to the end of the interview. So we just have one or two more questions left. And we're hoping that we can, if you want to jump in on your phone, just jump off. You have the link, it's the same link. Just jump off and come back on. I can keep the folks company because I know they're anxious to hear more about you. So you can go ahead and you can jump on your phone, and we can continue. We can continue that way. That's definitely not an issue. I mean, in 2023, I think we're accustomed now to all of the kinks that can happen, all of the different things that can happen when you have to connect through virtual spaces. Sometimes the internet not going to be strong, sometimes it will. Sometimes the audio is not going to be good, sometimes the light is going to be poor. I've had it all, so I'm completely understanding of the situation, and I thank you, the viewers, for being understanding as well. His audio was a bit faint, and we want to make sure that he can come on strong. I think he had a lot of important things to say. I managed to hear, when he spoke of his who he looks up to, why it's important being on the team, what he feels he can bring to the team, and how important it is for him to be part of the West Indies team. Grateful to all those of you who have come on and who've remained on and who've shed the light. And if you're on still and you're looking and you're waiting for Kavem to come back, I want to encourage you to hit that share button. It's not taking off no ounce of blood. Just hit that share button and share the live, so that somebody else can hear his story, somebody else can learn about him, somebody else can know about Kavem Hodge, whether it's a friend, a family, whether it's somebody that follows you, someone would enjoy hearing his story. I think he has a wonderful story, and he's dropped a lot of gems along the way. So I want to encourage you to hit that share button. If you've not done so yet, go ahead and hit that share button. I also want to congratulate those of you who actually responded to the how well do you know Kavem Hodge. So we had our little game that we played at the halfway point of the show. So I want to say thank you very much to all those of you who participated. Are you there?
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Do me one favor, okay? I'm going to teach you how to use your phone. Can you rotate? Can you put
Oh, you
your
want me to rotate it?
right? Can you see me okay?
Yeah, I'm seeing you fine.
Fantastic. So I think when we left off, we left off at an awkward stage because you just finished sharing with us about being on the team and stuff. And I think some folks may or may not have heard everything you said. They may have missed some
Okay.
of what you said. So I want us to kind of
Mhm.
rewind a little bit, because I think what I got out of it, I felt was so important, what you shared. And I think a lot of
Mhm.
folks would want to know, especially when you spoke about what it is like or what you can bring to the team that makes you I'd accept. I mean, it might just be this might just be the interview to put you. No, I'm just playing. But what about Kavem can allow the West Indies team to perform the way that we West Indians expect them to perform? Because I mean, lately they've been a little dry, like dry bakes, and we're hoping that they can get some pep in their step, and the next Test match with England can be phenomenal. It's going to be in
India.
Dominica. India, sorry. India is in Dominica, right? That's the one. India is in
Correct.
Dominica, right? So that's going to be next week, and we're I mean we're hoping that you, as a Dominican, will be part of the group. What makes you so the best person or one of the best people to take West Indies to the next level?
What I'm gonna bring. I think it has a lot to do with, just being a team person. Because no matter how good you are, if you can't gel with a team, or follow the team plans and work with a group of individuals, then you're not gonna really go that far. You're not gonna add up too much. Not much people gonna want to be around them. So I think it's just a matter of me, doing what is required um, to help the team move forward. And that comes down to my preparation, how I get myself ready, doing the right things when I need to do, taking care of myself, and just being in the best space mentally as I can. And if given the opportunity, then all of that would add up and help me to at least try and make a difference. With the team, not in the team, but with the team, because obviously cricket is a team sport. No matter how much you do things on your own, you have to bat with somebody. You have to feel with your teammates. You understand? So at the end of the day, doing all the right things, it wouldn't guarantee success. But it would, give you a peace of mind. Say, hey, I've done the best that I can to help my team improve. So I mean, that's what I would say. There's no one way or one formula to be on any team. You just have to do what you can, control what you can, and then what has to happen will happen. That's one of the things that I live by. If it's meant to be, to be. So just
Alec is
control the
on the live.
controllables.
Alec, who's one of your teammates, is on the live, and he's saying it's your Wi-Fi. He's putting all the blame on you. He say he's a Mister and his Wi-Fi. Is what Alec is saying right now. So he's there, cheering you on, and hopefully we can get Alec.
Yeah.
We want to get you on on the show too. I also wanted. Are you there with me? You heard me? Okay. I also wanted to get an understanding. I think I asked you, like who in on the team you really look up to, and you went in to talk about a little bit about what they bring to what the different things that they bring, and why you would even look up to somebody, and so you shared that with us before we got cut off with the audio issues. Okay, you're gone again. I can read your lips again, but don't get frustrated. Don't get frustrated. Don't get frustrated. Take off your AirPods altogether. If you're on your phone, just take off your AirPods altogether. Put them away so that they disconnect, and just breathe. It's okay. It's all right. That happens sometimes. Make sure your audio levels are up. Um, I don't think it's a Wi-Fi issue. I really think it's an audio issue because I can see you. I can see your lips moving. So, Alec, I'm not sure if I agree with you that it's the Wi-Fi. But if you say he always have Wi-Fi issue, then maybe you always have Wi-Fi issue. You always have Wi-Fi issue. Not hearing you. Not hearing you. Like not hearing you. You went from hearing you far to hearing you very loud, and then there were beeps in between. You can hear me, but I can't hear you. Um, disconnect from your iPods and just be on the phone normally. Just disconnect and just be on the phone as you would normally be. That way it can we can probably get the audio straight. No, I'm still not hearing you. We can get the audio straight. I'm gonna kick you off and you're gonna come back on. I'm gonna put you off. You're gonna come back on, and we're just gonna wrap up because I don't want to frustrate you. I know you have a long day ahead of you tomorrow. You have to work out, and I think we've spent a really good time together, and I appreciate that. So I'm gonna ask you to leave. I'm gonna get you to come back so that we could just say our goodbyes. Hopefully that we get some good clean internet at that stage. Again, guys, I apologize. I mean, this is beyond completely beyond our control when we have these kinds of issues happening. um Alex says he's still learning how to use his phone. Alec, 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 leave the man alone, okay? Leave the man. Alec, when you come on, I hope you will not have any issues because we're coming for you next, okay, Alec? We need to set up a date when you can come on, guys. I'm sure you guys want to get us our second sports ambassador. Alec, who's also on the live. Linky is saying to me, Kavem is gonna be one of the best things to happen to West Indies in a while, cause dog, you know how to work hard. Some of the new generation of fellas don't seem to understand how the urge to fight to win as a West Indies player and the reason behind it and why it feels so good to win as the West Indies cricket team. And a few folks are agreeing with Linky. Um, a few people are coming in. Hopefully, we can get them on together at some point. I've been so grateful to those of you who stayed on because his story is really interesting. He's very engaging, and it's just a pity that we're having issues. We can hear you. We hear you. You hear me? No, you're not. I don't like you. Okay, I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you. You there?
Oh boy.
Can you hear me? And I heard all the songs in your thing, so I know I can hear you, but I don't hear you because you're playing part like you can't talk. Anyways, I know this happens. It's okay. It's all right. It has been so wonderful, having you on the show. Kavem, I mean, you are a breath of fresh air. You're young, you're vibrant, you seem to know what you're about. You seem to have your head screwed on right,
Mm.
um in the absence of all of the things that you've gone
Yeah.
through a lot in life. I mean, you just mentioned living with multiple people, and somebody might be like, oh my god, like they might think this is so alarming, like the rest of the world might be like, how you managed to be where you are, with
Yeah.
all the adversities and stuff. But you clearly had a plan for your life. You knew what you wanted and you knew where you wanted to go, and you didn't want to waste your time, and you have persevered with the help of the support that you have with you, with the
Yeah.
help of God, with your own chutzpah, with your own, because you have to be able to also motivate yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes I'm sure sometimes you feel bummed out. I'm sure sometimes I like even today, when I spoke to you, you were like, I'm at the gym, and I'm like, gym, right? Like to me, it's like gym. Oh my god! Like when I hear gym, I just want to cringe. Like every morning, I set my alarm and I say I'm gonna go on the bike, and shit doesn't happen.
That's where the
But
discipline comes in.
I have my discipline is for money. I'm very
Mm.
disciplined to when it comes to money and putting things together and making things work. Like if
Right.
I know
Right.
so, but when it comes to and I don't know, I'm going to ask, or I'm going to start manifesting that I get discipline to work out, because it's a pain. My sisters were here visiting, and my sister wake up in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, and she 1 and 2 because it was raining. She couldn't go outside and run, and I'm looking at this heifer, and I'm like,
Right. So
girl.
I would say this. Oftentimes we look at working out as a chore. You know, But it's interesting that you said, you're disciplined with money, but I look at it as, even if whenever I'm done playing cricket, I would still see myself going to the gym because it's part of my lifestyle now. I love myself enough to know that I have to take care of my body and, look after myself, be healthy. And health is a big thing for me. Anybody who knows me, that's a very big thing for me. So no matter how much money we make, no matter what we have, if we don't take care of our health, we're not going to use it. All that money we're making, we're going to use it to take care of our health, pay for hospital bills and all that stuff. So, your health is the most important thing.
You know, the amount of times I've heard that story.
Right, is the most important thing, but and we only come to realize that when it's too late. You understand?
I think I've convinced myself more that I will be pleasantly plump until the day I die. more than and I'm always like I'm always like nothing wrong with my spare tires.
Right. But I mean, right. So being pleasantly plump doesn't mean you're unhealthy. But I'm just saying, you just still have to make, just like, having abs or whatever doesn't mean that you're healthy. You could still be eating shit, going in the gym and still have abs. But just holistically, eating properly, taking care of yourself.
Yes.
Love your body enough to eat proper stuff. There's nothing wrong with having a little KFC now and then.
I eat properly. I think I just eat too much. So it's like when I say properly, like I'll forget to eat and then I will binge. So it's like I'll just eat because I'll be like, the whole day will pass and I'm like, oh shit, it's 4:00 and you don't eat nothing yet for the day. And I think my body just retains everything, and as a result, it's harder to lose it when it's time to lose it. And I have to go on like extreme diets, like only eating grass for like 10 days, which I do. When I say grass, like vegetables, for like 10 days to kind of just shed the weight, because I'm like, oh my god, those pair of jeans that the little boom shots I went to a Caribana, it can't fit me, and I'm like, I start to freak out. So that's the story of my life. You would think that I have known Kavem forever. We just met today, okay, people? It's just, I mean, he has an interesting story. He's clearly an interesting guy, and I guess I'm a good interviewer. I know how to pull out stuff. Alec, you next. And all the rest of the West Indies team. Tell them, right, Kavem?
All the best, Alec.
It was really a pleasure. He said, I suspect he was the one chewing up all your Wi-Fi and was causing you to have issues because he was taking all the juice.
No, actually, my AirPods died, so I had to run along in his room for his AirPods. Yeah, he was asleep, so I had to go and bang on his door and he was going wiping his face and I had to get his AirPods. So that's how he ended up on the line.
Let me tell you how I normally do this. This is the first time I've ever had both of them on. I always put one on at a time. So I put one on and I put the other one to charge. And while the other one is charging, so when it informs me that it's dying, I just flip it. So for future, if you have to do this again, normally just put one, because you can hear clearly with just one on, because you just have one on right now, right? Yeah, you're pretending now. I'll tell you, you cannot play this game with me. Why you cannot play this game with me? Because I'm a song girl. I deal with sound for a living. Right, that's what I do. And yes, so I can hear background noises. I know when you don't call me and tell me you somewhere and lie, because I will hear the sound at the back and I'm like, no, that sounds like you XY, you in that place. I can tell you spot on where sound is my strength. So all of that pretending mouth thing, that won't work, because I still hear the sound of your room, the room around you, and so. But it was indeed. Was that a snake? What is that?
Yeah, my pet snake.
Where you bring that from, Antrisa?
That is something else.
Wait.
I bought it in a country. So it's a rubber stick. I use it to play pranks on the guys, So I'm a prankster.
It wouldn't work on me.
You just because I'm not. It was a real snake.
I'm not scared of snakes. If you want to prank me, use Wavet, cockroach. I will break my foot for cockroach, and I will not break my foot for a snake.
I hear you.
Telling you, I'm not scared. I actually have pictures. My sister Aurel will tell you I have pictures with snakes around my neck.
Yeah, there's one thing to know that you're going to pick up a snake, but if you just turn up and one is there, you're gonna have a reaction. Don't come and tell me you're not gonna have a kind of reaction.
Probably not, unless unless I'm probably sleeping.
Ali, how about you?
Kavem, it has been a pleasure having you on. Before we cut off, before we go, I want to know any final words, anything you want to say, or probably want to share with us. What's next for you? I know you feel like you've accomplished your dream, or is that it? Is West Indies it? Where in the next 10 years, when you're 40,
Mm.
what can we expect from Kavem?
On a yacht sipping champagne. I'm just kidding. Nah, I think yeah. I mean, I've achieved part of my dream, obviously playing for the West Indies, but playing one game is not something that you want to be settled. You don't want to settle for the bare minimum. Obviously, I want to have a long, fruitful career. Whatever that means. So
Mhm.
as it stands, I just want to continue taking care of myself. Stay in a good space mentally, and I always keep mentioning mentally because it's the sport is hard. You love the sport, it's hard, but you also have to take care of your mind. Um, that's what's gonna keep you. I rather, sorry,
Who's that? Is that Alec?
come,
Alec? Tell him to come. Tell him come. Tell him
Alex,
come.
come, boy, come, boy.
Come. Tell him to come.
So that is how it normally. You just, but you watching the live?
Come and say hi to us, Alec. Come. Hi.
Yeah.
How are you?
How are you?
How are
Read
you? I'm
lips
not
now.
hearing you.
He's a
Read
guy.
lips. You can't read lips.
She tell her read lips.
Obviously, no, I'm not good at reading lips.
So you next. You next. Yes. You were telling us solid before we were interrupted by Mr. Athenes.
Huh? I know you find comments left to right. You just troublesome. Anyways, um, right, yeah. So, right, like I said, you don't want to. I don't want to settle for the bare minimum. Obviously, I would want to have a long, fruitful career, whatever that means. Taking care of myself and, just trying to and be involved as long as I can. As you mentioned earlier, what is next? Obviously, being an ambassador, for sports in the country, I would want to give back in some shape or form to, whether it is to my community, my school, or whatever the case is. So I think that's a project that I want to take up, when I head back home, through the various sponsorships, to help out and give back. Because I've always wanted to do that, but it's just having the resources and the medium to do it. So now that, I'm in a position where I can, that's something that I want to do is give back to, the people who have helped mold me and point me in the direction that I should be going. So
Mhm.
yeah, that's something that I want to undertake. So stay tuned for that.
Thank you. Oh, I'm interested to know, like, did you always know Alec, or was it cricket that brought you guys?
Um, yeah, it was cricket that brought us together. I first met Alec in 2017, yes, sir. Where you go, Canada? 2017. Yeah, 2017. We were selected for a West Indies B team in Canada, and he was my roommate. And it just started from there. We started spending a lot of time. During COVID time, we were based in Grenada, and then we went back to Dominica during COVID time for those 6 months. You spent a lot of time by me. Roam about the place, and we just got really really close. So we do a
Mhm.
lot of stuff off the field. We in Grenada. We live together. Um, so we just got really close, and it it was evident, through the way that we played cricket. We have some record partnerships, in first class cricket and Super 50. So yeah, it just came natural. So a
Do
lot
you
of
guys
people,
motivate each other, or is it just
no,
you all are both in?
no, we do. There are sometimes, we're human. Sometimes you would probably do some things that say, my brother, you can't do that. And probably I would do some things like, my brother, what you do, whatever the case is. No, so
Tell
we
me
would,
what you would do that he would tell you something, my brother.
um, uh, so what would I do that you tell me what I'm doing? Something that I would do that you'd say, my brother, what are you doing? Whatever the case is. I mean, I don't know. Probably. I don't know, man. Exactly. So you're right. So most of the time, he would be the one who would be out of
So
hand
you
and
you're the
awkward.
one to keep you're the friend to keep him in check.
Yeah, I'm the one keep. He's a little loose cannon. He's a loose cannon when you're ready. So yeah, all of the things is like a lot of like you mentioned that you wanted to get in contact with him. So most of the times for the interviews that we do, they would come to me, and
Mhm.
then I would have to be the one to tell him, you know, my brother, these people want
Check
to
your
do an
phone.
interview
Check your
because
phone.
he only check his phone for what he want to check his phone for. You understand? So
Mhm.
I would have to be the one who organizing everything. And yeah, but that's the kind of relationship we have. Eh? So,
Mhm.
I mean, we spend a lot of time together, and people even saying, you know, we look like brothers or whatever the case is. But hey, we're just representing well for our country, and that's, you know, what we want to do, you know, show a good image.
Big up to the two of you. I mean, big up to the camaraderie between the two of you. Big up to the love for your country, the love for the game, the love for your people, and I wish you guys both well. I mean, I haven't spoken to him yet, but I hope that we can get him on sometime soon. But I just
Mm,
want to encourage you, to keep doing. I mean, you're in as you say, you're in the right place. You're in a
mm.
position right now that you can have a meaningful impact. And if you don't have a meaningful impact, it means it is because you got spare your time,
Yeah,
right? So
it's true. It's
don't
true.
waste your time, because you in the perfect position now to have a serious impact. And I just want to wish you and Alec well, but I want to wish you, and I want to say thank you again for
Mm.
taking the time. I know, again, you guys are training, you're in the gym every day. I know you're trying to make that cut for the next game. And I want to wish you well. I hope that you make it through, because it'll be great for Dominicans to come out. Dominicans love their cricket. When you see, when West Indies playing, I know they're gonna come out in large numbers and be at the stadium, not just to see the game, but because they want to support the two of you, right? So I want to wish you both well, and I want to wish you specifically well, and thank you again for the opportunity. Thank you for your time. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have any final words, the floor is yours, and we wrap this up tonight.
Yeah, no final word. I just want to thank everybody for you know, for hopping on the live. I think of all the interviews I've done, most of them have been through like radios and you know, via call. Alec and I would be on via call, but I think this is the first one of the
Hey,
first
I pluck your
live.
cherry.
Yeah, if you could, you could say that. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just thankful for everybody for, you know, hopping on and you know, enjoying my story. I mean, it's one thing to be being on the field and playing and everybody seeing you, but you know, to get to know the person. I always believe, and I'm a strong believer in getting to know someone personally. You know, when I come off the field, I'm human being. You know, so
Hmm.
it's always
Hmm.
good to get to know people, and you know, I'm thankful for it. I want to say bye bye. Oh yeah, the place shine. Beat you.
Thank you very much, Kavem. Thank you
All
very much for joining us. Have a good
right,
night,
no
okay?
problem. All
All
right,
right,
bye.
bye bye.
Take care.
All
All right.
right, you too. Guys, that's it. That was a wonderful show. I know we had some mishaps. We had some technical difficulties and all of that. That's okay. We had fun. Thank you very much to those of you on YouTube. Sammy, good evening to you. Thank you for joining us. Those of you who logged in on LinkedIn, those of you logged in on Twitter, thank you so very much for your time. Thank you, those of you on Facebook, the diehard fans, those of you who answered questions, those of you who interacted. I hope that I can continue to bring all of these wonderful stories in the most comfortable way, because the worst thing about doing an interview is for your guests to feel like, oh my God, she might ask me a question and I will feel uncomfortable. But I'm happy that you guys can continue to enjoy my interviews, and you continue to come back and you continue to share the live. I hope you guys share the live. I hope you hit the share button and you shared this with someone. I want to encourage you to do so. That's how I can continue, because I can go back and say, hey, my show is being seen by people. Thank you for your time. Thank you to my producing team that assisted me in putting together this and every show. My sister Aurel, who's always there with me, has my back 110%. My communications guy, Samaj, and the wonderful Annika, who takes care of all my graphics and all of that stuff. Thank you very, very, very much for all the work that you guys do behind the scenes. I really appreciate you guys, and thank you for all your support. Thank you to the sponsors, because without you, I cannot have a show. I mean, I've done this show. I did the show up until 2021 without getting paid for it, and now I'm at a position where girls got to get paid, and you believe in me, you trust the process. You also, again, data doesn't lie, and you trust that as well. And I want to say thank you very much for entrusting me with your brands, and putting yourselves out there so you could support this. Thank you to you, the viewers. Without you, it's not possible. Until next time, I'm actually going to be back on tomorrow. So we're coming back on tomorrow with 2 cents. 2 cents is a while out. It's like it's our while out Thursdays on a 2 cents. So you gotta tune in tomorrow, because tomorrow is the season finale of 2 cents with my girl Recoilia out of Trinidad and Stellina Blue. We're gonna be mashing up the place. We're not even sure if we're having a guest tomorrow yet, and if we do, we'll let you know, or they might just show up once you hear the doorbell. They might just pop in, right? So big up to those of you who enjoy the show, the top fans. Make sure you follow Jael Joseph live. Make sure you follow the group, because that's where we put in all the nice details. Some now and again, I'll just give my top fans, my top friends, my top sharers some extra something. All right. I will be back on Saturday as well. I have a show with Trilogy and Shelly. They're going to be coming on to talk about their Put Pen to Paper initiative, their summer initiative. So if you have any young folks in the house, this is a great time for you to get them to log in on Saturday. See you tomorrow. Until next time. Bye-bye.